Hello there and welcome back. Today I want to take you on an unexpected journey through the streets of Milan. This day started with a strike that halted the entire public transportation. No metro, no trams, just me, my camera and the city around me. And my wife too. At first, it seemed like an annoying limitation in my plans for the day. I was looking to reach the city center straight away and explore a few areas around there. But instead, I had to walk a few kilometers. But as I began walking, I quickly realized this became one of the best photography exercises I've done so far. Walking from a point A to a point B is the best way to improve as a photographer, because you are forced to face yourself with new unplanned things, and you can encounter different urban situations too. Sometimes the most challenging ones can lead to the most rewarding experience, even though that's not the case. In this video, I'll share what my walk was like and, more importantly, why loving your camera can be more important than having a better camera with you. So let's dive in. So, as I mentioned, the day began with an unexpected strike. Because of the chaos in the city, I knew that if I took my car to the city center, I would have spent the whole day just trying to find a free parking spot. Instead, I decided to leave my car in a residential area and walk to reach the center, where I originally planned to take the photos for this video. Although the weather was supposed to be sunny, the city greeted me with a classic cloudy day typical of Milan at this time of the year. So the challenge here was to look for colorful moments to capture, hoping to create a contrast with the white sky. As I was walking through less common areas, I started to notice details I might have missed otherwise. These were moments free of tourists, filled instead with real people living real lives. On days when inspiration feels distant and taking photos might seem tedious, the camera you choose plays a crucial role. It's not about having the best specs or the latest model, it's about how the camera feels in your hand and whether it inspires you to shoot. When you have a camera you generally enjoy using it, it encourages you to grab it instead of leaving at home or tucked away in your bag. You don't just take photos because you have to, you do it because you love the process. Milan is a busy and chaotic city, and this feeling grows even more as I get closer to the city center. So I decided to capture this chaos in my shots, trying to show some movement. Thanks to my X100V, I could turn on the internal ND filter. This allows me to lower the shutter speed and adjust the ISO and aperture to create a bit of extra motion. This feature is really important to me because it lets me to use the ND filter instantly without having to carry a circular ND filter around all day or constantly mount it and remove it. That's probably the best feature of this camera. When your camera feels intuitive and easy to use, you can focus entirely on the moment instead of getting lost with the settings or accessories. Street photography in particular requires spontaneity. Your camera should work with you, not against you. This is where having a camera you're comfortable with becomes essential. It allows you to stay in the flow, reacting to the scenes around you within seconds. It's about trusting your camera enough to let go of distractions, so all your energies goes into capturing the moment. While working, I chose to take a detour through a park, adding some natural tones that contrasted with the cloudy sky. But finally, the sun came out, making the whole scene look much more vibrant. After lunch, we walked in a lovely area of the city center called Brera, where the buildings are old and represent the authentic feeling of the old Milan. Here I took this picture of the newest Fiat models together, the 500 Electric and the new Topolino. They are far from having the charm and the vintage models, but it's nice to think about how this picture will look like in 20 or 30 years. As I mentioned, Brera is famous for its historic appearance, and probably the best spot to take photos here is at the local university, where the architecture helps frame the images nicely. The closer I got to the city center, the more I started to enjoy my shooting day, and I feel that this enjoyment is reflected in my photos too. A camera you love using becomes an extension of yourself. It's not just a tool, it's a part of your creative process. When both the camera and the environment are enjoyable, everything becomes easy to play with. And it's true, sometimes the right camera isn't the most powerful one. It's the one that fits your personality and shooting style, the one that feels natural in your hands. That's what makes it special. Whether you're shooting in your neighborhood or halfway across the world, it's that feeling that makes the photography really enjoyable. After a short break to quickly fuel up my Fuji, because of course I had the genius idea to forget my spare batteries at home, I finally made it to the city center. The closer I got to Duomo, the more motivated I felt to take photos. Shooting there was the original plan, so the moment finally came. Here the light was just perfect for me. With the winter sun, there is this balance between low light and cold shadows, creates an interesting contrast in the images. I also started really enjoying using my iPhone for taking videos too. The versatility of having basically 4 different focal lengths in one body is just a game changer. It helps to get really wide or tight shots, bringing a basic narrative like this one to a whole new level. Here I took a simple photo that somehow became one of my favorites of the day. I saw a girl walking by with a huge slice of pizza, a sort of iconic moment. I think that liking your camera transforms photography into something effortless. It's not just about creating images, it's about enjoying the act of capturing them, allowing you to become more aware of what's around you. And this sense of enjoyment, it shows in your photos. They feel more natural and authentic, even if it's something as simple as a woman with a slice of pizza. It's about noticing those moments and letting the process to flow naturally. This part of the city is very chaotic, plenty of tourists, beautiful buildings, trams, and so on. The trams are a sort of obsession for me here. Even though I wanted to snap a few shots of the old models, I had fun playing with the handy filters of my Fuji to capture a bit of movement. After a few minutes of motion shots, I noticed the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele was glowing in a golden light, so I had to run there, getting lost in the middle of the tourists, to take a few pictures of the architecture. Here, capturing the verticality is key to show both the building and the glass ceiling of the gallery. The beautiful winter light was fading and the first shadows on the Duomo were appearing, meaning the end of the day. Had just enough time for a few final shots of the Martini Terrace and the Galleria, and then my shooting day was over. Even though I could have waited for the blue hour, I was tired from the long walk and cold from the day, so I decided to go back to the car, feeling quite happy with the images I had made. And here I think lies one of the most important things I've learned about photography so far. Photography isn't just about the final image, it's about how you feel when you're capturing each image. It's about being in the mindset where you're fully present in the moment, completely connected with your camera. A camera you love using helps you to stay present and truly enjoy the process. Wrapping up this video, I can't help but reflect on what this walk through Milan has taught me. Not just about photography, but about the process itself. It's funny how something as simple as a strike, something that could easily frustrate your plans, can actually open up to new opportunities. Walking those streets I wouldn't normally explore, camera in hand, remind me why I fell in love with photography in the first place. It's about the surprises, the unexpected, and the small moments you get to capture along the way. And honestly, it's not just about the photos I took, it's about how the camera played a big part in this experience. My Fuji isn't perfect, and I know I've mentioned its quirks, but those quirks have actually helped me grow as a photographer. Treating it more like a film camera, slowing down and focusing on the shot instead of the specs. It's been a refreshing change. And I think that's something worth remembering. Your gear doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be something you enjoy using, something that inspires you to get out and create. So here is my takeaway. Photography isn't just about the end result. It's about being present in the moment, noticing what's around you, and letting the process itself bring you joy. Whether you're shooting with a fancy camera, a phone, an X100V, 6 or Ricoh, the most important thing is that it makes you want to go out and see the world in a new way. Thanks for watching and joining me on this walk through Milan. I'd love to hear about your favorite camera or your go-to method for staying inspired. Leave a comment below, I always enjoy hearing your stories. And if this video made you think a little differently about photography, maybe even about your own creative process, then my job here is done. Right, see you in the next one. Bye.